Welcome to today's explainer. We're jumping right into a concept that sits at this absolutely fascinating intersection of human psychology and commercial strategy. We're looking at a super dense, incredibly specific piece of source material today. It's all about how the universal concept of attraction actually dictates consumer behavior. Whether you're a seasoned marketer, an entrepreneur, or honestly just someone fascinated by how products are positioned in the real world, you're going to find this incredibly insightful. Let's break this theory down piece by piece so we can truly understand the mechanics at play here.
Okay, let's dive right into this. We're going to microscopically deconstruct this exact, unedited source text today. Look, it's literally only 3 sentences long, but don't let that brevity fool you. This tiny paragraph, it contains an entire strategic framework. It defines a baseline law, outlines a very specific application, and crucially, issues a warning. So instead of just kind of skimming past it, we're going to slow down. We're taking this apart and analyzing the exact words the author uses, because trust me, every single phrase in here is doing some heavy lifting.
To properly understand how this whole thing works, we need to start right at the bedrock. Section 1, the principle of attraction, which is the foundation of the strategy.
We are deliberately isolating the core concept here: gender attraction. The text explicitly defines this as a marketing strategy that, and I quote, follows the principle of the law of attraction. What I really want you to take away from this is that the strategy isn't being presented as some random fly-by-night gimmick. No, the source material roots it in what it literally calls a principle and a law. It frames the strategy as something natural, almost gravitational, By tying a commercial marketing strategy to a fundamental, universal concept of attraction, the text is implying that this strategy taps right into inherent human behaviors.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the specific phrasing they use, follows the principle. It suggests compliance with a natural order, right? If you're building a marketing campaign, you aren't fighting an uphill battle. According to the text, you're aligning your strategy with a pre-existing law. That is a massive starting point for any marketer. It essentially tells the reader that the foundation they're building on is already proven by human nature itself. But how exactly does that philosophical principle become a tangible, everyday tactic?
Well, let's move to the next part and see how this builds from an abstract law into a concrete application. Section 2, gender as a marketing tool, and its application to target products.
The source text gives us this incredibly clear 3-step causal chain. Step 1, we have the participants. These are our marketers, the active agents actually making the decisions. Step 2, they apply gender as the marketing tools. This is the action phase. And step 3, they aim this tool directly at some target product. It's a remarkably mechanical, deliberate process. The text strips away any subtlety here. It presents a completely direct point A to point B operational flow.
And this brilliantly illustrates the really utilitarian nature of the source material. Just pay close attention to the language for a second. Participants, tool, target product. The text doesn't treat gender here as some complex sociological concept. Nope. In the context of this specific strategy, it's reduced to an explicit, functional instrument. It's quite literally a lever that a participant pulls to achieve a specific result on a target. By viewing the text through this operational lens, we can see exactly how the author intends for marketers to view and utilize the law of attraction. It's strictly a means to an end.
But the source text absolutely does not stop there. If it did, it would just be a simplistic instruction manual. Instead, it introduces a vital caveat, shifting us from operational instruction to strategic caution. Section 3, strengths and weaknesses, the crucial reminder.
I really want you to focus on the specific phrasing. The participants have been reminded. This is such a fascinating choice of words. Notice it doesn't say they should learn or they need to discover. It says they have been reminded. This implies that the dual nature of this strategy, its intense power and its obvious pitfalls, is actually already known to the participants. It's an inherent characteristic of using the law of attraction. It's kind of like the text is tapping the marketer on the shoulder and saying, hey, you know this is powerful, but definitely do not forget it's also highly volatile.
The text explicitly forces us to balance the equation here. On one side, we've got the strengths. Because this strategy relies on a fundamental law of attraction, its strength is its incredible pull, right? Its potential to grab attention and really drive engagement. It can obviously be a massive advantage. But then, look to the other side, the weaknesses. By relying so heavily on gender as an explicit tool, the text is warning us that there are inherent vulnerabilities. If you apply it poorly or to the wrong target product, that powerful pull, it can easily backfire. The text demands that both of these sides be weighed equally.
So, the crucial point here is that this final sentence of our source material basically serves as a mandatory checklist. It totally acknowledges the high ceiling, the potential advantages of aligning with the law of attraction, but it equally demands a strict awareness of the flaws. This isn't just some passive observation by the author, it's an active strategic warning embedded directly into the definition of the marketing strategy itself. Basically, you cannot deploy the tool without accepting the accompanying risk.
Which brings us to the ultimate takeaway of our explainer today. We've seen the text define the law, identify the tool, and then explicitly issue the warning. But the source material leaves the final calculation entirely up to the participant. So I'm going to leave you with this question to consider in your own work. Based on this framework, when you evaluate your specific audience and your specific goals, are the strengths of utilizing gender attraction truly worth the inherent weaknesses for your target product? It's a really delicate balance, and as our text today proved, it requires incredibly deliberate thought. Thank you so much for joining me as we unpack this, and keep asking those deep, analytical questions.